Hello, I'm Andree, and what I've got for you is a reconstruction of my very first podcast from 2020 with a whole new video component. I hope it works for you. Enjoy.
Very exciting stuff. I think we're pretty much ready to go here with this podcast.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
And once we start recording, Frank, I'm going to need you to stop eating those crackers. It's incredibly annoying, and it's all anyone's going to be able to hear. So, Dennis and Dee Reynolds here.
Inaugural podcast. We're talking technology today, the big T.
Absolutely. Everyone's talking about technology these days because it's everywhere.
Oh, it is. You can't escape it.
You absolutely can. So, Dee, tell us what you feel about technology. What's your opinion on it?
Hi, I'm Andy Luke, and you're listening to the Drew and Luke podcast, a new monthly show about writing telly, film, comics, novels, whatever. It's brought to you with help from the lovely folks at Nerdgeist.com and patreon.com/Andy Luke. This podcast is going out on August 4th, 2020, the 15th anniversary of my favourite television show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I want to tell you why I rate it so highly in the hopes you'll be enticed to mainline it. And for those of you who are already Always Sunny junkies, there'll be plenty of Charlie works and chances for smug, narcissistic smirks. I came to Sunny around 2012 after a creative high point in my life. I was living in a row house in East Belfast, a neglected area with a criminal element in squalor, having just been dumped by my girlfriend. My time in the spotlight was snuffed out quickly, it became apparent, as events I ran crashed, including a festival happening during the Belfast flag protests, when the folk of the bustling city centre were cleared away like a coronavirus outbreak. Elsewhere, vehicles were hijacked and burned, many were injured in riots, petrol bombs, plastic bullets. Where? 5 minutes walk from my home. I was watching Always Sunny shortly before its season aired, while dodging an eviction notice and squatting, then moving to a house in the next street which had no heating or hot water, but did have woodworm. Word of mouth got round to me about Always Sunny, and perhaps I was looking around as Peep Show would have been coming to an end about then. Problem was, it's an American show and Friends, ha 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 ha. Even Seinfeld, with its occasional smart observations, was kind of suffocated by network studio lavishness, I thought. So with stranger danger in mind, I went to Wikipedia. The series follows the exploits of the gang, a group of narcissistic friends who run the unsuccessful Irish bar Paddy's Pub in South Philadelphia. Twins Dennis, Glenn Howerton and Deandra, Sweet Dee Reynolds, Caitlin Olsen, their friends Charlie Kelly, Charlie Day, and Ronald McDonald, Rob McKinley. And from Series 2 onwards, Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito. Each member of the gang displays unethical behaviour and traits such as excessive drinking and drug abuse, dishonesty, cruelty, selfishness and egotism, hatching elaborate schemes, often conspiring against one another and often for personal gain, vengeance, or simply the entertainment of watching another's downfall. They habitually inflict mental, emotional and physical pain on each other and anyone who crosses their path. They also regularly use blackmail to manipulate one another and others outside of their group. They will dump one another for personal profit or gain. They'll usually return to their group dynamic of toxic codependency, yelling at one another, disgusting, shocking, crack cocaine, pretending to be mentally challenged to qualify for welfare, attempted cannibalism, kidnapping, blackface, eavesdropping on people, eating inedible items, huffing paint, foraging naked in sewers, plugging wounds with trash, grave robbing, and stalking their crushes. Charlie, he traded his capital investment in the pub for half a sandwich. Substance abuser, lives in squalor with Frank in a vermin-infested apartment. Glenn Howerton, easily the most psychopathic, superficial, hypersexual, selfish and abrasive. Mac, the sheriff of Paddy's, because he frequently attempts to demonstrate his toughness. A Roman Catholic, though he often espouses strong Christian fundamentalist opinions, despite his often amoral behaviour. Dee Reynolds, often the butt of the gang's joke, constantly for approval and attention from her peers. Dee set her college roommate on fire. Danny DeVito is Frank Reynolds, a successful businessman who has since embraced his feral nature, a compulsive gambler. He always arms himself and often snorts cocaine as part of his daily routine. Yeah, I could get into this. The episode titles also leaped out at me. From season 1. Charlie wants an abortion, underage drinking a national concern, the gang finds a dead guy. From the opener, the gang gets racist. The dialogue is multi-layered, thick and fast. The tone is one of treating the audience here as equals, expecting passionately that they laugh often. The theme tune and transitional musics by Heinz Kessling were possibly at the time of production public domain. The opening credits, just city landmarks. The main set, Paddy's Pub, has no frills. The Hidden Away pilot was filmed on a $200 budget. Many episodes retain a low budget look, but a well realised one. The pacing carries an unmistakable chemistry between the lead actors, 3 of whom were already close friends, co-writers and producers of the show. Many supporting roles are also filled by their friends. These elements are key in why Sonia attached itself so deeply to me. The idea that if my creative friends and I could get off our asses and organise, we could do something like this. Punk movement, be the change, whatever you want to call it. We just needed to do it with commitment and work. Watching it was my break from suburban hell. Whilst the characters of Sonia are a disgusting bunch of perverts, fraudsters and idiots out to attach themselves like parasites to you, predestined to prey on each other, dragging the bar for quality lower and lower until the standards of the earth swirl down the toilet sewer, this is not just shock value comedy. In the making there's a strong undercurrent of love, of humility, of no bullshit, of health. And these virtues reach the audience, inclusively uniting them in opposition to the miscreants. Although each character allows for a little bit of empathy, you can see the early growth of family and community that 15 years later would have half the cast married to one another and breeding.
We heard you guys have a anything goes type situation here. Could we get a couple glasses of milk?
What? No.
No, you can't have milk.
Can't have milk. No.
Come on, man.
Oh, you know what? Get out of here.
Could you guys go over there for a second?
Can we talk?
we gotta talk for a second. If you could. Just... What are we gonna do?
I did not see this coming.
We cannot have them Poyle brothers in here creeping everybody out, bro.
What if Charlie comes in here, man? He sent him to jail. They may be planning to stab him.
They bang each other,
And they
Dennis.
bang each other. They bang each other's... All right, let's set up a couple rules. We'll set up a couple rules.
Always Sunny is a creative success from the outset, but commercially, not so much. The addition of Danny DeVito in season 2 was the best possible answer for network FX. The transition is in some ways seamless. DeVito could only contract for 20 hours on set for 10, 25-minute episodes. But it's only really apparent in maintaining the low-budget vibe, for on screen he's quickly established as lead cast member. DeVito plays Frank, father of Dee and Dennis, a successful businessman looking to retire with as much shame as he can muster, and in terms of story, everything is ramped up a gear. The already immoral gang are flushed along by Frank's hedonistic excess. Frank opens doors to a country club where he pimps his son out for sexual favours to wealthy spinsters. He funds a gang's sequels to Lethal Weapon films, and many trips to Guagino's fine Italian restaurant. Seasons 1 to 8 are widely considered Sonny's classic years. There's one episode among them that doesn't deliver splendidly, but on the whole they're near perfect. A Very Sunny Christmas, for example, an extended feature fitting in a Meta Dickens carol, and 2 of the funniest scenes ever to grace TV. I watch it every year. The Night Man Cometh took Sonny's forays into music to cult, classic and musical, backed up by layers of story and character psychology. The series shares a trait with my other favourite televisual, The Wire, in how all the details matter, because no line is wasted here, no matter how off the cuff the delivery. Mac's insecure hard masculinity and homophobia recurs to slowly reveal a gay man in denial. Dennis may be a serial killer from lines included drop by drop from episode 1.
Dr. Zimmerman!
Excuse me?
Dr. Albert Zimmerman! The old bastard who ran the Nitwit farm. He'll know where Froggy is. I'll find him. Yeah, I'll find the frog kid.
Yeah, go find him.
I'm gonna find him.
I'm not sure I understand what's happening.
I'm schizophrenic.
D, I swear you would be of more use to me if I skinned you and turned your skin into a lampshade. Or fashioned you into a piece of high-end luggage. I can even add you to my collection.
Are you saying that you have a collection of skin luggage?
Of course I'm not, D. Don't be ridiculous. Think of the smell. You haven't thought of the smell, you bitch! Now you say another word and I swear to God I will dice you into a million little pieces.
That reference is pretty overt. There are a number of early episodes that tell that many of these character developments aren't written episode by episode, but are in place from the beginning. Yet the gang's constant shallow, petty fights serve as a disguise for more considered backstage thoughtfulness. Part of this seeding occurs through the wonderful supporting cast, often victims of the core group's behaviour. The waitress and the lawyer, whose names no one remembers, Mac's vinegary mother and his father, a supremely intimidating Fallon. Charlie's mother, sweetness and sugar, who hides a rampant sexual deviancy. Priest Matthew Mara, whose proximity to the gang results in a fall from grace and loss of health worthy of the character of Herr Starr and Preacher. By the time season 9 rolled around, I'd found what I wanted. A new home in a peaceful area, a best friend, girlfriend, and a new settled outlook on social relationships. I shifted from making comics to full prose, writing 5 days a week. I'd been vocally opposed to poetry as a form, yet began to dabble and find significance. And the gang? Dee still wanted to be an actress. Dennis continued to deny he was a sexual predator. Charlie felt he had a good chance with the waitress. Mac was still the toughest man in Philly, with his future in God's hands, and Frank was still Frank, an opportunistic sleaze. As television series grow, characters change and soften, yet Sonny's lead antagonists are not your friends. They remain immovable in their prejudices and delusions. Change does come in Frank's suicide attempt and Mac's eating disorder, but these things are temporary. The gang become harder, as exemplified by Dee's increasing physical viciousness.
With much dignity and grace, we've come to talk to you about the Best Bar Award. Now, in the past, our group has not paid you any attention, but now we are prepared to pay you what you deserve in attention, if you get my drift.
I don't.
Ponder lettuce and shrimp.
Excuse me?
He's inviting you out to lunch, Bozo. You gonna go or not? Yes or no?
Actually, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. I've already eaten.
Dickhead doesn't want a second lunch. He's being offered lettuce and shrimp. He doesn't want to eat
You
lunch.
once a day.
Hey, everybody, I had food.
All right, you know what? I am out of here. I don't need this limp dick telling me whether my bar's cool, okay?
No. No spitting. No spitting.
There's near consensus a high-quality streak runs through the first 130 episodes. 130 episodes. Despite this, Sonny holds few awards or nominations. There are multiple instances of Emmy worthiness, not least Mac's coming out at the end of season 13, a landmark in television history, executed as a beautiful operatic ballet. Part of the challenge in evangelizing for Sonny is the show's deliberate targeting of red button issues, that shock factor. This trait didn't hurt South Park as it warmed up for the 2000s gross-out burnout of American Pie and Jackass. We laugh at the people of Paddy's Pub rather than with them. The creative path is one of heart. Amongst the transgressive posturing is progressiveness on race, sexuality, reproductive rights, gun control and mental health. Part of the hard sell is the drop in quality of the last 2 seasons. This was a long time inevitable, as it's tied as the American live-action sitcom with the most seasons on air. The series' creators, Michael Henney, Harton and Day are still on board and active, along with Season 2 writer and actor David Hornsby, and Megan Gans serving as writer-producer. McElhenney, Day and Gans recently created Mythic Quest, a softer comedy about the gaming industry and an absolute joy. Their loyalty to innovation is a recurring feature of Sunny, as recently seen in the Cine Noir experiment. The janitor always mops twice, and if shooting resumes, we'll present a few modern classics. Netflix and Hulu host all but the 5 episodes they removed in order to top free advertising from the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. That's as fucking disgusting as any of the gang's schemes. With the 150 odd episodes, there's a wealth of Always Sunny material online. You can find bloopers, deleted scenes, an extensive collection of promo films and designer posters. One of my favourites is the hour-long version of The Nightman Cometh Live, with new songs. There are also great video essays by Ryan Hollinger, Wisecrack, Legal Eagle and Tropic Mephisto and others, as well as some great communities on Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, so many places. 4 years ago I went self-employed as an author. It's been a struggle, but I've gotten editing and research commissions. My 3rd novel is coming out next year and I've put everything into it. Always Sunny is a great example of entrepreneurship, which came from people without industry connections, people like me and probably you. It continues to satirise a modern toxicity which presents itself as above satire. It shows that you can sell out and still keep your principles. The audio for this video was made 4 years ago, and since then Sunny appears to be catching its second wind. A general rise in quality and pumping out modern classic scenes and episodes to be remembered for generations. It resonates with longevity. If you've enjoyed this remix, do be sure to like and subscribe for my series 200 Seconds Sunny. It goes up weekly on Sundays. Sunny Sundays.
Oh, hey! I got it!
Got what?
The best song! I wrote the best song! It's amazing! Get with the program,
Yes,
all right?
Charlie. Please, we're all clamoring to hear.
Whoa, they say the world's your oyster, man, but oysters ain't for me. You're the belle of the ball, but you ain't my cup of tea. They always vote you best in show, but this doggy disagrees. 'Cause I like life in Patty's Pub. Okay. There's a place for me. It's the place I go where the beer is cheap and the lights are low. It's Patty's Pub. I like Patty's Pub. Let the record show the greatest place to go is that bar called Patty's Pub. I like life in Patty's Pub.
My goodness! Well, my goodness.
You guys really like it? You're not just talking about me here? I tried to go right down the middle, middle America, Randy Newman.
Yeah, I didn't catch any rape references, nothing about spiders, nothing about ghouls.
You've been listening to the Drew and Luke podcast. It's been distributed by Dave Cromie at Nerdgeist.com, a great site focusing on entertainment and culture, packed with reviews, features and interviews. We're on Twitter at NGeistOfficial and Andrew Luke. Finance and esteem is provided by supporters of my Patreon, where for only $1 you can get a monthly cornucopia of prose, poetry and comics, as well as early access to this monthly podcast. That's patreon.com/Andy Luke. Thank you. Thank you.
You said the podcast would be ready in July.
Well, of course it's disappointing. I mean, we can't
100%
even find a co-host
I
that's
won the
interested.
2011 Unlimited Millennium Award. I was in a book
not satisfied,
twice
Andy.
for the
I am
Eisners.
not satisfied.
It's Always Sunny in the Drew and Luke podcast.